hollow bunny. And we all feel hollow sometimes.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Hollow Bunny Leadership Podcast. I'm Kristen Zeman, and I'm here with my edgy and ornery co-host, Sylvia Moyer.
Yes, ma'am, I am. Yes,
Yeah, I'm
edgy
feeling that
and
from you
ornery.
today.
Yes.
I'm feeling it. I like it, though. I like it. We are both former police chiefs. However, the Hollow Bunny podcast is not just for cops. This podcast is for anyone interested in talking about life and leadership, particularly the lessons we've learned about both. I would love to tell you that that's what our podcast is about today, but it's not, is it, Sylvia?
It is not, Kristen. What started as you and Ted and I having a team meeting, our producer getting us together and talking about calendars and synchronizing and branding, evolved into a conversation about an array of topics that will enrich the lives of our Hollow Bunny Leadership Podcast listeners.
Yeah, well, you say evolved, I say devolved. So I guess we'll let our bunnies be the judge of how that actually went down, right?
Yes, a glass half full, half empty still needs to be washed, right?
Boom.
So we
That's
talked
right.
about cold plunge. We talked about you trying to be something that you're not, which is a camper, somebody who would get like an RV, which is not you. We talked about the obesity epidemic. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff that will enrich and entertain our
Yes, we did.
listeners.
Yes, we did. We also talked about the British game show Naked Attraction and delved into, well, let's just leave it at that, listeners. Let's just leave it at that. Here is what we do know. This is fun, but it's all over the place. And we even let producer Ted sit at the adult table for this one. So, bunnies, we hope you enjoy it, and welcome to the Hollow Bunny Podcast.
Welcome to the Hollow Bunny Leadership Podcast.
Okay, I really want to talk about, I want to delve into this, which is a pun intended. Are you genuinely enjoying positive effects from the plunging, even though it's not technically, the 40-degree water, 50-degree water that they suggest?
I think I am, but I think there's a confluence of things for me.
Yeah, I need to talk through this because
Okay.
I'm having the same kind of thing, and then we'll get on to
Okay,
business.
so I bought Hoka's. I never buy expensive shoes, but I've got some knee joint thing, and so I thought I'm going to get really nice shoes. I got one of these Incrediwear braces. Have you heard of these? And I had a friend suggest it. I thought, whatever, it's $50. You put it on. It's supposed to promote, circulation, and so I sometimes use that. I haven't used it nearly as much since I started cold plunging.
Okay.
Oh, I'm exercising a lot more regularly. Like just down the street is the wrestling room. They got weights. I'm not doing a whole lot, but I'm doing something every day, which has been better than it had been for a while because of back surgeries and Achilles and all that stuff. So I think it's a lot of these things coming together. But before I started doing the cold plunge, it seemed like I would have to take some ibuprofen most nights before I went to bed, so I wouldn't wake up feeling terribly creaky. And I rarely take ibuprofen anymore, which is good. I don't like taking things I don't have to take.
Yeah.
So I'm still not sure. And part of the experiment then will be, as it does get warmer, if I do feel a difference, if I feel like I'm missing something. You know what I mean?
Sure. Okay.
I still think it's a good way to wake up and start the day. And it's something just that's not pleasant to do in the morning. And it's just kind of a shock to the system to start. And so I think that's good in and of itself. But I am not sure about the benefits. And so you were going to say something about that too.
Well, yeah. So it's interesting because the benefits that you're highlighting are not the things that I have issue with. I don't really have any physical ailments that, where I've had pain and things like that. So I have no frame of reference when it comes to that. For me, it has now become this mental thing. In fact, you described it in a way that actually makes me think when I get up in the morning. When you said, I can't remember what time you said, but you said, at 6 a.m. Ted, I know that 6:05 a.m. Ted is going to be a better person having done that.
Right.
So for me, it's this idea. I open my eyes, I literally wake up, I go pee, and then I strip down and I go into the pool. And it's only, 67 degrees in the pool. So it's not even the temperatures that that they would describe as, where the science shows the benefits, but it's still 30 degrees cooler than the air. It's 80 degrees here. So, I'm sorry, cooler than my body temperature. Yeah. And so for me, it's this me versus me moment. When I'm standing there going, you know what I want to do? Not do that. I want to just go grab my coffee and I don't want to do that. So I have this me versus me moment and I'm like, God, this is going to suck. And then I remember what you say, but the 5-minute version of myself, 5 minutes into the future is going to be better than the present one. So then I go do it. I suck it up. I'm like, force myself to stay in there for 2 to 3 minutes. It's so cold. And then I'm like, oh my God, I feel amazing. So then it becomes, for me, it's residual that it seems to somehow manifest during the day where I'm like, God, I don't want to do that thing. Go do it. Just go do it. It's the me versus me moment. So for me, it becomes this mental thing. And now I'm running into the same barrier as you, where the weather is starting to get, it's average of 85 here. So the water is getting warmer. And so I think I told you guys via text that I'm considering, like, every day I research the cold plunge, and it's a pretty significant investment for the kind that have the cooler. It's, at the very least $5,000, but Chris is enjoying it and she has the same issues as you, her joints, and she's got like inflammation and she's like, I feel amazing. So now I'm considering, I don't know if this is a placebo effect, but now I'm thinking about springing, $5,000 on a cold
I would
plunge.
recommend doing the cold shower first, just because it's free. The cold shower, it is.
You have
it is.
Yeah, how are you doing? How are you doing with your?
I do.
But don't you?
Yeah. So at my little place here in California, I have an ice pod in the shower, in the guest shower. And so then I have 3-pound deals of ice that I put in. Mine is only 58 degrees.
Right.
Now, like you, Kristen, I question, is there a benefit there? And I say, yes, there is, because it's something different. So I immerse, and the same way, it's a me versus me moment, as you call it. It is I got this, I freaking got this, and there is residual effect. I find that the physical benefit of aches in joints and muscles is, I'm really seeing a benefit, and I'm coupling it with hot yoga, which means that there is a monster on this planet that wants people to suffer. So doing hot yoga once or twice a week with a stretching benefit and then the cold plunge each day, and I'm not doing 2 to 3 minutes. So my cold plunge is in my shower. I get up, I strip down naked, I get in the cold plunge. It's very private. It's not a pool like you two ballers. And so the benefit is the same. And some would say, okay, 58 degrees, not that cold, but it feels good. And some days I have to do it when I get home. And that I find that then I get home, I cold plunge, I rinse off in a shower, and I sleep really well.
That me versus me moment is good, Kristen, because I've thought about that too. Again, like when I'm doing my little workout, or if I don't feel like going down, because I know, Sylvia, you missed a lot of this conversation, and I was telling Kristen, I think it's for me, it's a confluence of I got better shoes, I'm working out a lot more regularly than I had been before, and anyway, and so it's that thing of I don't feel like doing it. Just get your ass off the chair, start walking,
it hurts. It's
and
painful.
you get there and you do it. You just do it.
So I have to ask, we're trying to identify that one thing, and you two have talked about, is it a placebo, or is it your CrossFit, your working out, your stretching, your meditation? Is it all these things? And this is just one of the many? Do you have to know? If you're experiencing the benefit, and there's no degrading effect financially,
No, you don't have to know,
emotionally,
right?
physically, why not?
No, and it is the mental. Yeah, for me, it's mental, all mental.
The worst thing, or at the very least, you're getting in and doing something uncomfortable to start the day. And it does make you feel better. It's, one of the silly side effects or benefits I've noticed is there have been mornings before where I would get in the shower, and I usually shave in the shower, and I would be just, I'm too tired today. I'll just let it go today. It's not too dark. I'll get it tomorrow. And I shave every day now because I'm awake.
See, and it's the little
Yeah.
things, right? I know. Does it happen to you where I'm literally in the pool where I'm probably like a minute in and it comes over me where I just become wide awake and alert, and it's like it's this moment. It's I can actually feel the moment happening where I'm like, I'm so awake and I just feel so happy that I did it. I'm like, the worst is over. I've been in here a minute
Yep.
already. And I don't know, for some reason, it's just helping me tackle things I don't want to do because I just keep thinking about the discomfort and how it's going to suck for a minute and then just do the thing.
So have you missed any days?
Nope. Well, when I was in
Except for when I
when I was
travel.
in Utah for the trip, but no, I haven't missed
You-
a day
you-
since February 3rd.
Wait a minute, Ted. So you're in Utah in the snow. Did you just run out in the snow naked and roll around with the same effect? And you're so sweet. I mean, sugar melts in the rain. It's got to melt in the snow too.
There was a lack of privacy that would have prevented me and a lot of children on this trip. So I wasn't going to strip
Okay.
down naked and roll around in the snow.
It's funny that you mentioned privacy because, I live in a community and, it's a screened in lanai, but it's, I've got houses across the pond. And, one morning I was looking and I was like, you could probably see into this. And then I had that moment. I'm like, you know what? Just don't look. This is my backyard. If you're looking in, that's on you. If you see me in the buff going into my little cold plunge. So, that's your problem. Not
Hey,
mine.
we'll be looking for it on Instagram for sure.
That's a social media
I
post.
could recognize that little fanny from across the lake.
Little copper tone butt.
Wow.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
we are not the podcast
You
for
don't bow
carpooling to school. Right. We
No,
are the
we aren't.
podcast.
No.
After you drop your little miscreants off, then you live a little.
That's right.
We're that podcast.
That's right. Naked cold plunging,
Mhm.
naked attraction.
Yes.
I mean, we have a whole theme of nakedness going on.
Katie
do.
tried to
There-
get me. She tried to get me to watch that last night. We were watching TV together. I said, "No, I'm not going to do it." I said, "Kristen,
Ted, you
Kristen
haven't
said
watched it?
there's things you cannot unsee, and I don't want that.
No, you
I
can't.
don't want to unsee that stuff."
No, I mean, listen, friends, I don't know how to say this in a way.
Oh, here it goes, Ted.
Here.
This
is okay. I am a person, I would say I'm mildly experienced when it comes to seeing the genitalia in an intimate setting. I'm mildly experienced, but on this show, like the gamut of like nature, like even like the men's version, I was like, wow, that one's so different from that one. And then Chris yelled out, that's a shower, not a grower, or a grower, not a shower. And I didn't know what that meant. And but because I've never seen one so compact there. And, I'm just saying the
You don't have
genitalia
brothers.
alone.
Oh my God.
No,
I have three
I'm the
brothers.
only child.
I have three brothers, and men, you guys are so cute. And one goes to the left, one goes to the right. And Kristen, are you seriously still watching this show?
No, I tapped out, but it was enough. 2 episodes were enough for me to constantly fixate.
So what are
on
you
it.
filling your time with now that you're not watching the naked genital show?
I've given up the genitalia show, and I'm now concentrating on things that are more beneficial in my life, like writing my next book. So that's what I'm focused on. I am committed.
Okay, so you go from naked and genitals to writing a book on what is it? Let's give.
It's called the discomfort creed.
Okay, we're right there with you. We can testify and give you some quotes. Ted, do you have one? The discomfort creed?
No, I haven't thought about this. The discomfort creed.
You're living it right
No,
now.
yeah, I was going to say
Ted.
5 minutes in the
You
studio
are
with you
living
two
it.
when you got me in your sights.
That's right.
Well, here's
right.
something that you find about leaders of our experience, Ted. We have
Here we go.
engaged in so much discomfort, so much disappointment, so many crushing blows to our soul that we're able to really explore the vast continuum of human emotion and human suffering with just perceived ease.
That's nice.
So
That
well
is well
Yeah,
put.
we're just
That's so
like,
beautiful.
oh, Poor thing.
I would tell you to repeat that, but I know that I'll probably be able to play it back if Ted is recording.
Bitch, write it down. Okay. So, we need to explore that. There was a recent study that came out in neuroscience that says you have greater brain connectivity when you write things down. It can be it can be a stylus and a pad like our Remarkable pads, or your iPad with a pen, or I don't know, a pad of paper or a journal or something. So there's a lot of science.
There's something to that as well.
I read that article.
If you read a book versus reading a screen, or
Sure.
a newspaper or a magazine instead of a screen, that it sticks better.
Really?
Yep.
I've not heard that, but I've definitely heard the writing brain connection, that it sticks with you when you write it down. And I'm definitely a note taker.
Yeah.
I love carrying my journal around and writing down thoughts and things like that. Yeah. Oh, you know what else I've made? So I've also been, looking at kind of like what you were saying, Ted, about the things in your life that are benefiting you positively, not just the cold plunge. But I sat down and I was like, I want to make sure that my discipline is like intact. So this optimization habit tracker, I built this. I made it.
Okay. And what does it say? What
It's
are
like
its
so.
settings?
So at the top, I wrote optimization habit tracker, and then I wrote what are my goals for the month of October. And one was to improve health and fitness. 2 is to book more keynotes. 3 is to write more for book number 2. So those are the 3 goals that I picked. And then along this left column, what are the action items that I have to do to move the ball forward on those things? And I've got plunge, work out, meditate, read for 20 minutes, write 600 words a day, post and market, make a connection, and limit alcohol. And then I've got in my notes like health and wellness. And then every day that I do one of the things, I check the box. And so I can send it to you. I made a PDF of it. If you want, you can print it out. And the idea was to be able to, that people could make it their own, just because I built it the way that, I need to kind of pursue my discipline and action items. So I can send it to you and you could fill it out.
You can. I feel like this is a kids out of the house project when I can start actually setting goals for myself again. But I hear you.
Yeah, but think about all the things that you do that you just described. I'm working out more, I'm plunging, I'm doing those things. It's like those little things move the ball down the field, and you can just check them off. And it's so gratifying when you see those things. So they don't even have to be things that are so insurmountable when it comes to your time, juggling, 3 kids and, a wife and a full-time job, but little things that you're just like, I got to do this today. I got to make time for that 5-minute plunge, so it just it's cool to see the progress.
Yeah, it does help. I think when I don't know, it does help knowing, just for me, that whatever, I know since February 3rd, I haven't not plunged. And then I think it was probably middle of January since I've been, every day I come to work, I make sure I go down there, and but it's good to track that too. I definitely,
Just little things.
Do you think, Kristen, that one of the effects is not only just writing it down, contemplating, committing, writing it down, the discipline in the after to say, okay, yes, I did that. But then, like you referenced, the accomplishment kind of coming back and saying, wow, I did a lot of amazing shit. And it can just be micro movements like Ted's talking about. So much is consumed with kids stuff. And you can write that down, Ted, for the TED time.
Yeah.
And just those micro things that you have done for yourself.
Well, actually, you just kind of made me think of something else. Your goal, think about what your goal is. I don't know what your goals are, but let's pretend health and wellness, but also to be a great father, to be a great husband, right? And so you can add those action items there of real time with my kids, where I put down a device and I engage on their level and check that box. There is something, you're right, so gratifying of seeing I'm doing good things here. So your goals, that can be part of your daily action items that make you a better father, a better husband, and a better human,
There's a book by James Nestor, called Breath. And what he argues, breathing through your nose. And what that does for us. My God.
The book opens with an experiment where basically he had his nose taped shut, and he was a mouth breather for 2 weeks. And he slept worse, and his mental capacity went down, and all these different things so it's like when you hear inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, okay, but there's like some reasons to it. That book is fascinating. And
That
It is.
that is like a great commitment to the science
oh
is to plug your nose
gosh,
for
yeah.
2 weeks.
Oh,
That's going
sounds
in
awful.
deep.
Next level
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Oh well, wait, explain to me. So I understand from what I know and from what I've read, mouth breathing is bad. Not only does it's like a lot of people snore when they mouth breathe. Also, it's also gut health too. It's like there's something about that. But it's tell me what
I
other
remember
reasons is it better to be a nose breather than
one
a
thing that
mouth
stood out
breather?
to me was the cavity thing. He kind of
Oh
postulates
yeah.
that the
Yep.
cavities come from like breathing in the bacteria and the germs through your mouth as opposed to eating too much sugar.
Oh,
Well,
that makes sense.
and the other physical effects. So, really, as part of this, he offers all the physical and mental, intellectual effects of mouth breathing or of mouth breathing versus nose breathing. And he offers to try during those uncomfortable times to nose breathe. So, I've been doing it really consistently, and I have big hills here in where I am in California. And every day I take little mister over here on a walk up and down these hills. And man, there are times where I am suffering. I cannot just get enough air through my nose, but I force myself to do it and know that I'm not going to die. And I think there's been a really interesting effect in my sinuses opening and some other things. While I can't measure them, I can anecdotally tell you that I do feel different since I've been really committed to nose breathing. Did you find the same thing, Ted? What'd you find?
I found that I read the book, found it fascinating, and didn't do a lot to put it into practice.
That's fair.
Knowledge, knowledge
Yeah,
without
and that's a
application is
problem of
nothing.
mine that I am trying to work around a little bit. But
Might
you
you
know,
consider it's
Mine is I use it. I use it like you do. Still, I use it during exercise, and I do that to slow my heart rate down. So since in the middle of CrossFit where I'm almost dead, I'm going to die, I like stop and breathe through my nose just to bring my heart rate down a little bit because it's so hard for me. But outside of exercise, I don't use breathing, and I'm like you. I should.
it's free.
hmm
Hmm.
Yeah, and I've started hot yoga, which, like I said, there's some monster in the world that created this shit. Um, but that is an exercise in extreme discomfort, both positionally and in terms of the temperature. And it is hard because sustaining just your weight and all the movements. And I thought about, okay, I need to breathe through your nose and cleansing breaths in that way, and it calmed me down. In terms of like, I got to get the
Um,
fuck out of this 110-degree sweat box from hell.
I would like to push back on you because when you breathe through your nose at hot yoga, it just magnifies the stench of the people
Oh my God.
that have stinky,
Mm,
sweaty bodies.
yeah.
I don't mind hot yoga, the actual act of hot yogaing. I'd rather enjoy yoga
Here's,
and adding the temperature to it. And then I smell
yeah.
other people that don't have terrific
Yeah.
hygiene. And that made me stop going. And so breathing through so I had to start being a mouth breather during that. So I didn't smell it. So I don't really
No,
want to do that.
Kristen, I'm pushing back on that because if you're a mouth breather, then you taste it. Come on, then you're get like Ted said, you're getting all their junk
cavities.
up in your mouth. What? I mean, here's my thing about hot
Okay,
yoga.
you win.
Men,
You win.
men wear a fucking shirt. Just wear a shirt to absorb some of that manliness. Come on, come on.
Just bodies have different pH levels when it comes to cranking up that heat, and sometimes odor ensues. And I'm not here for it. I'm just not. That's a level of discomfort for which I will not endure.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Okay, so Ted, I do want to.
should we pick some
Wait. I want to
dates?
say something to Ted. I'd really encourage you, Ted, when you say this is a problem, like you read it but you don't do it. My little Buddhist encouragement, what we think we become and how words matter, it's not a problem because it's in there somewhere. And at the right time with the right intention, or just where it comes out of the universe, you may consider it. You
hmm
may use that knowledge in how you interact with the world. So fuck that. Don't say it's a problem.
Well,
It's
and
just a
another
thing.
tangential subject on this is I don't read nearly as much news as I used to because for the same reason,
Sure.
like all this shitty national political news, and I'm just consuming it. And besides going to vote for the right people, what else can I do? And I was like, this is just pollution, you know?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I just had this conversation with someone that was like, I said, I'm turning off the news. I'm done, especially as it comes into
I know.
election season. My mental health cannot take the negativity and the discourse, but it's not just discourse. It's not healthy discourse. It's a nation, basically, at a verbal civil
Right.
war, and I can't deal with it anymore. And so we started talking about the end in mind. What is the end? Well, the end is that we get engaged and we vote. We cast our vote, and I can do that by just reading some articles on both sides. I can educate myself. I don't need to watch talking heads and pundits and all of the bullshit. And so I actually reject it, and I'm still doing the thing that I'm supposed to do as an American who loves this country. I'm going to go vote.
Yep.
And so I think you're on the right track there, is that you can still do all of that and get rid of the noise.
Yeah, it's hard because we become this nation where people on opposite sides of the aisle could disagree. Like, Ted's on one side of the aisle for this example, and I'm on the other. And so then Ted would propose something, and I would disagree with what he proposed. So we'd talk about that thing, and I would disagree with that thing, that policy, that program. And now it's become,
Sure.
I disagree with Ted, and you're an asshole. It's like
Ted's a stupid idiot.
when did we come to that? When did we come to this character
Right.
attack? You didn't have brothers, Kristen, but it's like my brother when he was 12. It's like, hey, dude, here's the deal. And we talk about something till he got frustrated. He goes, you're an asshole. Okay, you're 12, you little fucking twit. Really? You can't come up with something other than that. So we've devolved into this place of just doom. Good for you that you turned it off, Kristen and Ted. Right? We
Yeah.
kind of
Can't do it.
consume what we need to consume.
Kristen and I both read that Heather Cox Richardson daily
So
newsletter.
do I.
Letters. Okay.
So do I.
My mom got me on her a couple years ago, and now I'm kind of to the point where this is where I want to get my news, right? From
She
historians,
feels-
from political experts who.
Right.
But the thing is, like, even then, I'm like, I want to share this. Like, say, look, all right, don't watch CNN, don't watch Fox News, read this historian, but the people on the right are going to read her and say, well, she's obviously a Democrat. And so there's just no finding a middle ground because we were talking to a guy on a ski trip, and he's a bit deliberately provocative, and so we didn't get roped in too badly. But he was, he brought up something that he had heard, and we're like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know if it was I don't even know what it was, but I'm like, this is like the Fox News shit. Like, there's stuff that we have never even heard of that they are being fed. And so we, again, I mean, this goes back to the common facts thing. We have no common facts. We have no common truth that we can rely on and use as a basis to begin a conversation.
Yeah.
Right. So what's the point?
Right. Well, and that's what we ingest, is like because we have, of course, our bias. Syl and I are both reading Adam Grant's book, and I just finished it, Think Again. And this is exactly what it's about, is discourse, and then, feeding ourselves the things that only agree. So I've given a shout out before of this news entity, but I want to do it again. And it's Tangle News. And I love this guy because he collects the topics of the day, and he collects everything the left is saying, everything the right is saying. And what a concept. I get to make my own opinion by reading the articles, the pundits on both sides of the aisle, and I can draw my own conclusion in an independent way without someone telling me how to think. And I very much appreciate that.
What is it called again, Kristen? I'm going to write it down on my pad.
Tangle is called Tangle. You can write it on your yellow.
Can you
legal
write an
pad?
extra copy and
You got
mail
a
it
pencil?
to me?
Yeah, could you?
U.S. Postal Service
Can you
with a
fax
stamp?
that?
With a
Yes,
stamp?
please.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you
Tangle.
Can you go to the copy machine, and then could you fax that to me?
Fax might be a little too high tech.
Hey, so could you send it to my AOL? Could you send it to my MySpace
One
account?
of my favorite things about the podcast is analog Sylvia versus digital Kristen.
And you
That would be super.
and you know what's so funny about that? In so many ways, I'm Miss Prezi. I have all these high tech things, but then I fucking love like I need a fucking calendar that's like a piece of paper. It's like, come on, come on.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
but here's what Tangle. What is it called, Kristen?
Tangle News.
I'm gonna send it to you,
Okay,
babe. I'm gonna
so
send it to you.
here's the thing.
It's because I can do that. I
Yeah.
can send you a link.
Here's the thing. I was going to refer to it. Your little thing requires some intellectual curiosity and requires some effort. And I think what we're surfacing here is people are lazy. That's why we have so much processed food. And we talked about breathing. We talked about cold plunge. We talked about these things. I'll tell you the thing that has rocked my world lately. You ready for it?
Oh yeah.
Nobody naked. It is. I took a 3-part masterclass on gut health. Holy leaping Jesus. The
Yeah.
ferments, eating ferments,
Not the right time to freeze up.
What I think she's gonna say is holy shit.
Holy shit.
Because
I can hear
that just
you.
seems-
Okay, there we go.
that just seems to equate with gut health. Holy
shit. So they talked about ferments. They talked about the gut biome, talked about what we're consuming. We're over processed. We're consuming stuff that is over clean. Everything's over clean and pasteurized and sanitized. If you have masterclass, watch the 3-part series on gut health. And so your little shake called fart in your mouth. Okay. It's got all these great things in it, right? You add, and every time I drink my kombucha tea, I drink kombucha almost every day and I eat ferments, and it's really kind of changing the way my body feels. But every time I imagine you downing this fucking kombucha and curled up like a ball because you introduced all this bacteria that's created so much gas in your gut, and you are in some beautiful place curled up like a little bitch trying to get rid of all the gas in your gut. I giggle every time I open a kombucha.
Colon blow. And you know what's funny is that was also my effort in giving up alcohol, because I've limited alcohol, and I brought kombucha to pour into a wine glass where my comrades were all drinking wine, and I was like, I'll just drink this kombucha. So it was like I had such good intentions, and then I had colon blow.
Okay.
So I don't know how much this goes with gut health, but I've been reading this this long article. I don't even want to call it an article. It's a series of maybe 15 articles that probably about the size of a book, but it's about the obesity epidemic in America. And since about 1980 is when they've seen, and it's not just America, but it's globally. And when I say globally, it's industrialized countries and not indigenous people. So they study, there's too much to say, but you can go to indigenous people who eat too much, who you would think eat too much sugar or too much starch, and they're fine because it's pure, right? And so it comes down to processed food. It comes down to pollutants, plastics. They think are a big issue of it. They say Colorado is the least obese state because of the elevation, because this shit trickles down. I mean, there's a lot to it, but when you think about how obesity has been packaged over the last 20, 30 years, it's an individual problem. You're not exercising enough. And the people who do look good kind of look down their nose and say, well, obviously I'm doing the right things and taking care of myself and exercising, diet and exercise. And it's not that simple. It's a systemic problem. And it was just interesting to read about it because nobody's talking about it. But that's where the obesity thing is. And I don't know how much that goes to gut health. But the processed food, when you brought up the processed food, it made me think about that because, one guy did a potato diet for, I don't know if it was 20 weeks or something, or maybe it was, whatever it was. He just did nothing but potatoes. And he was just going to show, I think, that he wasn't going to gain weight eating only starch. And he lost 20 pounds. And they think it was because he's kind of eliminating these different pollutants that are in the different foods or in the packaging. Yeah. I'll send that one.
And you know what's so sad about the obesity epidemic? So there's also, gosh, I know Huberman Lab is under a lot of scrutiny right now, but I love the Huberman Lab.
And you're a scientist.
And he did a 2-hour podcast. And I am a scientist. So I like Huberman. I am a scientist.
Yeah.
But I'm listening to this whole thing. And so here in what you shouldn't eat any foods that have more than 4 ingredients. And so I've been adhering to that. And let me tell you something. That is so difficult because even the almond milk that you buy, I'm pretty much plant-based with the exception of fish. I eat fish for my protein. And I get my normal, what's like the main brand of almond milk. I get like my unsweetened vanilla almond milk from the store, and it has like 12 ingredients. It's shit for you. There's fillers in there. There's it. And so now to my point, so I went and bought Malk, MALK, which has 3 ingredients: almonds, water, and salt. That's it. And it is double the price of what the almond milk is in the grocery store. So we're telling people to avoid processed foods, and yet we're not making it available for people, the normal person, to consume because it's completely unaffordable.
Well, and you go to someone like our friend Lori Luno, who has a certificate in nutrition. She has really rocked my world. I make Buddha bowls. I call them Lori bowls or Buddha bowls, just Japanese sweet potato and edamame and kale and, all this stuff. And mostly plant-based like you. She has an almond press. And it's some fancy ass almond press that she doesn't have to soak the almonds, and she gets pure almond milk. It's really fascinating. And here's one of the things with that. Yes, it is, science is showing it's better for us. Yes, it's way more expensive to eat healthy. And yes, it is. Here's the thing. An almond needs a bee. For an almond to exist, you need bees to pollinate it. And we have bees that in great decline across the world. Across the globe, bees are in decline.
Wait.
How?
So are you telling me that I need to get almonds and a bumblebee?
No, I'm telling you.
My own?
I'm telling you need to get almonds, an almond press, and a beehive. Now, I was a beekeeper for a minute at my ranch.
Sylvia, you were?
It was fucking terrifying.
I didn't know this about you.
Okay.
You were a beekeeper?
I was.
Did you get stung?
No, but it was terrifying.
Never?
Well, little stings, but I wore a little suit. The hardest part when they're all over me, that wasn't I wasn't afraid of getting stung. It was the sound of them. I was terrified. Yeah. It's a lot of work. It's a fascinating thing. So all of these, I think what we're highlighting here and might be a cool podcast is all of it's interconnected. It's not one single thing. It's not one single thing. It's an array of things.
It's intersectionality, right?
Yes, sir.
And that is such an important thing to always remember about anything you're talking about, is that it's not ever just one thing.
Anything.
Do you guys ever get into situations where you like the version of yourself that you want to be is not actually who you are? Like, how there's a great example of like people that pack for like when they go on vacation, like they don't work out, but they're like, you know what, when I go on vacation, I'm like going to pack all my workout clothes and I'm going to pack all my going out clothes. And, and they don't really even dress like that at home, and they pack all this stuff. And then they get on vacation and they just wore like the same jeans for 5 days, never cracked open. So I have a problem with that. And, like, I want to be like an outdoorsy person. I have to tell you guys what we just did. We are so stupid. So in my mind, I am a camper. In my mind, I am, I'm starting fires. It's all in my mind. It's the person I want to be.
Roast marshmallows over an open fire. Wear flannel. Is that part of it?
Yes. So, but now remember, I don't want to sleep in a tent. So, okay, those those Mercedes Sprinter vans that are like big sleeper vans, but they're like luxury sleeper vans. So they make one called the Revel. You guys have to look this up, Revel. And it is like, it is the coolest looking thing. And so I said to Chris, I said, you know what, let's get one of those and let's start traveling around the United States. And that way we don't have to get hotels. Like, I'm going to go to Dallas and I'm just going to pull in your driveway, Ted, and we'll sleep in our sleeper van. I'll wait for your lights to go on. And then, so we're just going to drive around, still I'm coming to California. So we literally went to this place and we looked at this sleeper van, and it's $200,000 because it's like got a queen bed in it. And I'm like, Chris, that's who we need to be. Like, we need to be these people. And then 2 days later we got home and I'm like, that's like literally not who we are. Like, we like to get on airplanes to get to the place that we're going. And I'm like, this is the stupidest thing that we've ever done. Do you ever do that where it's like the person that you want to be It's you're trying to be that person, but you're just not.
I always thought about that, like living in if we lived in a big city. If I had lived in Chicago, let's say in my 20s, I love the idea of taking public transportation, not even owning a car, right? But I'm Boy Scout, I'm contingency man. So in the trunk of my car, I've got gloves, I've got a hat, I've got, an extra shirt, I've got 2 pullovers, I've got an extra pair of old shoes just in case, right? And so I'm not that person
God, I
that
love
could
you,
live in
Ted.
Chicago.
Just not that
Right.
person. Not that person. No, we thought we have 4 children and they all live in different places. And we're like, this is so great. That way we don't have to buy a place, like in between all of them. We're like, we'll just bring our Revel van and we'll just park it in everyone's driveway. I mean, like I was like, Chris, we're totally doing this. It's cheaper than buying a condo somewhere, a second home. We are buying this. And
Kristen.
I just started laughing. I'm like, Chris, who, like, I'm not taking that tank out of that van. I'm not, I'm not dumping that.
It's a cassette.
What?
It's a cassette
man.
tank in that.
I know. I saw it. He did a whole demo, and I was like, the stuff goes in there? I'm not doing that.
Here's the thing. In that kind of van, you only download coffee, not donuts. Know what I mean? It's only number one.
I feel you, girl. I feel you, girl. I know. God, I love the idea.
It's a great
I just
idea.
love it.
But even in that one, you have to have the back door open to have it hooked up to city water and power. I mean, there are different options for someone of your esteem.
Yeah. Yeah, or I can just keep booking ourselves in 5-star hotels. And,
That sounds more like you.
Do you think my dog is dead? Do you think if people watch the podcast, they'll think Fenway is dead? Fenway.
No.
Fen.
No.
Do you,
He
no.
moves enough.
okay, so he does?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fenway. He's got a little...
No, Fen is just,
Do you love his name, Ted?
he's the
I love it.
sweetest.
It's great. It's a great dog name.
Well, the next one will be Wrigley.
Yeah, that's a good dog name.
Yeah.
You guys, maybe because the person that I used to be didn't like sporty ball, and now I really like sports,
It's called plunge.
maybe I'll become a camper
No,
later.
not likely.
Maybe because now, maybe I'm
Kristen,
ever
Put on your-
evolving. Maybe I will become a camper.
No.
Put on your goal
I don't
sheet.
see it happening. Okay. I saw this thing on Instagram I almost sent you, Kristen. So this lady has a tattoo of a raccoon on her leg, and she shaves around it so that the raccoon is fuzzy. If you become that person, I'll buy you a fucking Sprinter van. I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, God.
What is actually happening?
Well, that is a wrap of our dumpster fire of a show today. I hope no one listened to it. Ted Madden produces this podcast, reluctantly, and the song you're about to hear was written and performed exclusively for the Hollow Bunny by my handsome and talented son, Jake Zeman, and his accomplished friends, Fabian Guerrero and Zoe Replinger. If you like the podcast, please subscribe, like it, review it, and tell everyone you know about it. If you hate this podcast, please subscribe, like it, and just shit on us in the comments. We don't care. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All you solid bunnies, thank you for listening today. Please keep filling up your own bunnies and continue to add substance to others.
When you look inside, what do you find? Are you content to fall behind? When you lose your way and you've lost your why, have courage and get ready to fight the hollow bunny. When the way ahead is covered in smoke and you're tired and you're scared and you're losing hope, you'll open your heart and your eyes to see a challenge and a question, why not me? To fight the hollow bunny. And we all feel hollow sometimes, but the monsters are only in your mind. It's a tough pill to swallow, but if you're brave and kind, you'll be alright. If you fight the hollow bunny. fight instead. To change the world, you've got to start small. It takes a leader to say, I don't know it all. And I know I'm gonna fall, but I'll pick it up and come back stronger. Failing forward and moving onward, doing the hard thing and the right thing, forever fighting the hollow bunny. And we all feel hollow sometimes, but the monsters are only in your mind. It's a tough pill to swallow, but if you're brave and kind, you'll be alright. If you fight the hollow bunny. If you're tough on the outside but empty within, something's gonna crack, you've gotta start again. You're tough on the outside but empty within, something's gonna crack, you've gotta start again. The monsters are